with you why we wanted to have this discussion and dialogue. The background is, since the last two consultations, for those of you who don't know, in preparing for this People's Forum, we've had 4 regional consultations meeting. So it was open meeting, NGOs from many countries plus Malaysia, to discuss how to plan for this forum. In the meantime, we also had an agenda item on preparing for APF Laos 2016. As you know, next year is Laos is going to be the chair. So the normal thing is People's Forum moves wherever the chair is. In our preparation and discussion, so there were a lot of questions, concerns which we have been talking about, and we continue to talk about. And so I think that's the conversation we want to continue to have. So today is more dialogue to understand, to get information, but we also wanted to have the conversation with the CSOs from Laos who are here at the APF, because the last time maybe we only met 2 or 3, because only 1 or 2 maybe come for a regional consultation. So this time I think we won't be talking so much, just moderate, but we'll get questions, and then Laos CSOs, you need to participate. So can I ask for a show of hand who is from a Laos CSO? Laos CSO.
Laos CSO.
Okay, good. So my proposal, if you don't mind, just that we have this conversation, is we meaning we, the non-Laos people, have a conversation with you, the Laos people. It would be nice if all of you can bring your chairs and maybe just sit around on here or down there, so we know that you are the Laos CSOs. So can I invite all the Laos CSOs? You can bring your chair, either on the floor around here. Some can sit here, there's some spaces here, and then some can just pull your chair and come. So we know you are Laos CSO and we are talking to you. Is that okay? So just come. It's okay, bring your chairs, or there's some chairs here.
Excuse me, can I ask a question?
Yes.
I spent 10 years in Laos working for an international NGO and still act as an advisor to an international NGO, although I'm presently working in Myanmar. But I'm very much aware of the situation regarding...
But you're not a Laos CSO. At this point, no.
Not a Laos CSO.
So then you are an expert. You can just sit there. Your expertise is probably your questions are better from there. But it's good to know that you have that 10-year experience. Come, just pull your chair and you can join on the side. Pull your chair. Bring your chair. Bring your chair. Bring your chair. Come, join us. So I think today I also will be from Laos, since I'm in the midst of all the Laotians here. There's some more place here, there's some more place, and there's some more space here. You can bring your chairs on this side. Okay, so good. Now we have a fuller, now we can see the face of the Laos CSOs. The place here, you can bring your chair. Okay, good. Thank you all the friends. So what I'm going to do, if you don't mind, I don't introduce you, I just know you are the ASEAN friends. So welcome ASEAN friends. But I want to take a bit of time to introduce this side if you don't mind. So if I can just ask you to share your name and organization you come from, so we all know where you come from. So maybe we can start this way.
Good evening. My name is Bunthon Chantarao. I am from Alliance for Democracy in Laos. I would like about future in Laos 2016.
No, for now just
introduction.
Just organization.
Okay. First, I would like about our organizations.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Von Interwong, and I'm from Lao Alliance Lao Democracy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tui Tulamanikam. I come from Lao Alliance for Democracy in Laos.
Good evening. My name is Sombath Somphone. I'm from Wellbeing Foundation from TSO Laos. Good evening, everybody. I am Sombath from the same association.
Good morning, good morning. It's supposed to be good evening. Good evening, everyone. I'm Nonmelai from Laos Association for Design and Fashion.
Okay. Dr. Medon, you know.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sombath Somphone. I am from a non-profit association based office in ASEAN capital.
Good evening, everyone. My name is a little bit different. My name is Jehe. I am from the Hmong citizens, who are poorest of the poor in Laos. I am the president of the Association for Vulnerable Children and Community Development. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Petselin. I'm from the same office, Nonmelai. Sorry.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Janpeng Sivila from Lao Disabled Women Development Center. That is a non-profit organization. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Sombath Somphone from Association for Disadvantaged People in Laos. Actually, I'm from Sombath Province as well. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Nrh. I'm from Laos. I work at People's Court.
Good evening, I'm Mphon. I'm from Laos.
Okay. So, thank you. I think there's one more person walking up.
Good evening, I am from Laos. My name is Kathon. I'm from Environment Conservation and Community Development Association.
Okay, let's give the Lao friends a big hand. Okay, so the plan is we go on till, well, let's try, not more than 8 p.m. if we can. So it's going to be free flow dialogue. So I'm going to invite all the Laos CSOs to actually answer some of the questions, because I don't think we are hoping that only one or two spokesperson will be speaking. Because we've heard Dr. Medon speak already many times to our consultation. So this time I will be asking different people to take the mic to give your opinions and your thoughts. And so we want to get a broader feel of all the CSOs on Laos. Then maybe at the end you can say something. Okay, friends, so I think it's free flow dialogue. So you can just ask your questions, and then we jot it down after 2-3 questions. I'll get some people to answer, and then we keep moving like that. Is that all right? Okay, so who wants to get us going? I see one. Can somebody pass the mic around? Hello. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. We are excited to be in Laos next year. I am Dean from the LGBTIQ group, ASEAN Soji Caucus, and there is a gossip running around that different groups and issues are not welcome to be discussed in Laos. But I want to hear from CSOs like us, you, all of you. Are there any other issues you don't want to discuss? Because the voices of everyone should matter. And just so you know, even if you don't want Soji, we will be there. We will find a way. But we want it to be in a spirit of ACSC APF, spirit of inclusivity, of non-discrimination. And this is our effort to reach out and for you not to discriminate against any issues. So we want to hear from CSOs from Lao. What are those issues you don't want?
Okay.
And I hope there are none.
Thank you. Can you just hold the mic, then you pass it to the next person? I saw another hand. There's one here, on this end. Yeah.
There are a number of mics. I'm not in.
Yeah, there's a number.
Hi, my name is Debbie. I'm a Malaysian based in Thailand working on Burma and ASEAN, including on Laos. I think for Dr. Medong knows the issues, but I think some of you are here for the first time. So to be clear, actually, because of the letter that I think you all signed, which objected to a number of things, which asked us to delete references in the ASEAN APF statement. And the follow-up discussion, what we heard is that Laos CSOs do not want us to talk about LGBT. We cannot talk about indigenous people. We cannot talk about Sombath Somphone. We cannot talk about mega dam projects. And we cannot talk about multi-party democracy. So this is the message that we got previously. That's why King is asking what you don't want to talk about. But first I want to ask, do you still have a policy to prevent discussion and inclusion on LGBT, on Sombath Somphone, on hydro dam, on development projects, on multi-party democracy, and on indigenous people? Do you still have that policy against that? And is there anything else you have a policy against? That's what we want to know.
Thank you. Another person. Okay, I see at the back first. Sorry, I'm giving privilege to my co-chair. This is really the very Malaysian style. You just choose your friends over
No, just I think in terms of the process, maybe it would be better to just to know whether everybody knows about the statement that we are talking about, including our other Laos friends. And actually, the organization actually one of the endorsement organizations of that letter. I think we need to make clear that.
Okay. So that's a good suggestion. Friends here, the fourth regional consultation, we were given a letter by Dr. Medong on behalf of 40 CSO, Laos CSOs. So we did not have the names, and we did ask Dr. Medong to give us the names. So Yap is suggesting first question to ask all of you, do you know about this statement? Basically the statement, if I remember correctly, Dr. Medong, it said that it had some reservations and disagreements about the APF final statement. Among that, our team already mentioned issue of indigenous, LGBT, Dr. Sombath Somphone, and so they don't agree that those things are in our statement. And it was signed by 40 CSOs. So the question by us here, do all of you know what we're talking about, this statement? Do you know about this statement?
Yes, we do. The statement about Sombath Somphone that's prohibited about talking in Laos.
This is the one, So the resolution, this is what it's called. What's in Laos? What's the translation? The English is Resolution of Laos CSO Meeting on ASEAN CSO Statement. What's the translation?
มันก็เป็นมติของกองประชุมว่าเขาจัดกองประชุม CSO ลาวเนาะได้รับทราบมติก็แล้วมีมติ
So
you should maybe show of hands of who.
Yeah, so just a moment. So how many of you know about this statement? How many know about this statement?
No, it's not okay.
No, okay. How many know? Yes? Yes? Yes, Lao NGO. Yes, if you know about this statement.
I don't know it.
Don't know? Okay, you know.
I heard, but I don't
know
for sure.
Before, okay? No.
Heard but not clear.
Heard but not clear. But this side is yes, huh? Okay. How many can I see? So some of this side know about it. Yeah. So some know about it, some don't know. Okay. So this could be part of the 40 NGOs, is it? Because we still are waiting for the name of the 40 NGOs who have signed this statement. And do we have the names?
Nobody signed
the meeting, Henry, but the members of the meeting who were there, the 40 NGOs were there. Is that name list available? Because we were wanting to have who agree to this. But I think some are here. The groups who take up the hand here, about 9 people are here. Okay? So this is just to inform all of you. We received this letter, and that letter said, you can have a look. It's here, yeah. And that letter said some of the things already mentioned. Sure.
I need translate this. Lao. ข้าพเจ้าในนามประธานการพันธมิตรเพื่อประชาธิปไตยในลาวที่เคลื่อนไหวเพื่อความเป็นสิทธิของประชาชนลาวเพื่อสิทธิมนุษย์เห็นว่าข้อตกลงทั้งหมดนี้ข้าพเจ้าในนามที่คณะของการพันธมิตรเพื่อประชาธิปไตยในลาวและคนลาวทั่วโลกที่รักความเป็นประชาธิปไตยบ่เห็นพ้องนำมติตรงนี้เพราะว่าพวกเราต้องการให้ก้าวเรื่องการหายสาบสูญของท่านสมบัติสมพร
Her name is Buddha Jantalabong, and she's explaining that on this statement, she's not agree because we want to find out what happened to Dr. Sombath Somphone.
Okay, so that is one of the points in the statement. But as Dr. Medan said, it was agreed by 40 groups, so it's not this group, it's another list of 40. But it would be important for us to know who are the 40 participants or groups that agreed to this. But thank you for this. So, is it similar to the rest? You want to say something on this statement? Huh? No? Okay. All right. So that's the answer to Yap's question that some know about it, some have heard, some disagree, and there's some who agree. Yeah? We've got about 10, 12 people here who agree. Yes.
Maybe there should be translation all around, because I don't know if this conversation will be productive if there's no translation.
There are some whispering translation happening actually. Yeah. There's translation happening there, right? Yes. They're doing their whispering translation here. You're translating for?
I'm translating.
Yeah, she's translating. Yeah. The rest here, okay, right? Are you able to understand? Yes. Okay. It's okay? Yeah. There's translation happening? Yes. Okay, so I think they've organized themselves. Alright, so let's continue the conversation. So this one statement. So there's a specific question I think is linked to the statement. If we come, when and if we come to Laos APF, what can we or can we not discuss? Because based on the statement, it was indigenous, LGBT, Sombath Somphone. And multi-party, plural multi-party democracy is something that we disagree. So are these things something we cannot discuss or yes? So we had a statement before from Dr. Medan, but I can invite open to others to also share with us your thoughts on this question. Anybody wants to? Yeah, the questions just now asked by King and Debbie.
Okay, on behalf of myself, my association, I want to respond to some of the first question is about Sombath Somphone. I have been working the whole from 2004 from the north to the south. I haven't heard about him, honestly.
I don't believe that.
I'm the poorest of the poor. His organization is about PDR, as I heard from Myanmar APF. I got only PDR, but I haven't known about him, honestly. I can say in front of God, to him, for others, totally. That's why, as I said in the whole CSO in Laos, if all the 9 countries only push him to be there, it's unjust. That is why, from the poorest of the poor people, comment on that.
Okay, thanks for your opinion. Just a moment, I'll just take a few more from this side and we'll get back to that side. Any more comments from this side? You want to add? Can I ask somebody else? Because we want to get more people to speak. Somebody else? You want to say something? You want to say something?
I just wonder about the question that she mentioned. I just don't understand what that doctor said about the Sombath Somphone. They don't know from the north to south. All we know that we saw in the CCTV in front of the police station, but how we don't know about what happened to him. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
I need translation. ข้าพเจ้าอยากตอบว่าเรื่องท่านสมบัติสมพรนี่เป็นเรื่องที่รู้กันดีที่สุดสำหรับคนลาวท่านสมบัติสมพรเป็นปัญญาชนคนดีของลาวที่นำเป็นผู้นำพาแก่มวลชนในการพัฒนาประเทศลาวช่วยประชาชนหลายท้องถิ่นจนได้รับรางวัลแมกเซไซ 2005 พวกเรารู้คุณงามความดีของเพิ่นและก็แม่นคนลาวที่แท้จริง
Dr. Sombath Somphone is one of the hero for Laos people, and he's got the award for Magsaysay in 2005, and he's well known to Laos community throughout the country and throughout the world for Laos community people.
Okay, anybody else from my friends at the end, you want to add something? You want to say something? Yeah, can you pass the mic? No? Okay. Yeah, okay. So we got 2 statements. One say not heard about him from the north to south, and 2 others have said that he is very well known and famous because of the Magsaysay Award, and they saw on the video clip. Yes, now we take a few more comments and questions from this side. Yeah?
This is a comment directly related to the issue of Sombath Somphone.
Maybe just the name.
My name is Glenn Hunt. I worked in Laos for 10 years, and I was directly involved in the issues around Sombath Somphone at the time it happened. And I think if the gentleman doesn't know Sombath Somphone, that's fair enough. You know, I don't want to argue about that. But what I will say is that this committee, the organizing committee of the APF, really needs to consider this issue of Sombath Somphone, and should insist that this be, something that can't be hidden under the mattress, because one of the reasons why Sombath Somphone was disappeared was because he was actively trying to help Laos Civil Society people who are under investigation, Laos Civil Society organizations who are under investigation as a direct result of holding the ASEAN Europe People's Forum in Laos in September 2012. And you're about to repeat the same mistake. And if I had a question, I would say, how can you guarantee the safety of Lao people if you're going to be holding the APF there? And I have an email from Sombath Somphone a week before he was disappeared, saying he wanted to raise these issues about the investigations, about all the kerfuffles that went down after the APF, all the oppression and the intimidation of Lao people who spoke out at the APF, because he wanted to determine whether or not Laos was in a position to hold the APF in 2016. A week later he was abducted. It seems to me very clear that Laos is not ready to hold the APF in 2016, and doing so would only endanger Lao people if they dared, which probably they wouldn't, to speak out about problems in their own country, which we all know exist. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others? I see 1 and I see 2 hands up.
I'm Corina Lopa from the Southeast Asian Committee for Advocacy.
My comment is in line with what he said. We have been conducting the APF for the last 10 years, and some from Laos have been participating with us. And these have been the partners of the regional organizations. But let us tell you that after Sombath Somphone disappeared, many of them have stopped coming because they are afraid for their lives. So we are not coming to Laos if you cannot assure the safety of our partners there, as well as the safety of other Southeast Asians who would like to discover your country and be in solidarity with you, but have no assurance that we will come out of Laos alive, and especially the safety of our partners. Some of them have disappeared voluntarily and don't want to engage with us. They don't answer our emails because they're afraid for their lives. They just send receipts that they have read our emails, but they refuse to respond to us when we send them emails about engaging the ASEAN. So for us, that is an indication that there is great fear among your people. You must be the brave ones who can come here and speak to us, but there are many more who cannot come out of Laos anymore and speak to us.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, actually, I'm this Smita from Migration Working Group, Malaysia. My opinion is like I really don't see. I don't really care whether you know Sombath or not. In fact, I also don't know him. Okay, but I know the issues surrounding Sombath. But my query is why are you objecting to people raising Sombath in the Laos APF? That's what I want to know. I don't want you. You don't need to advocate on Sombath's behalf, or but why are you preventing CSOs coming into Laos to not talk about Sombath? That's my question actually. What is it you are fearing that we should not talk about Sombath?
Thank you. Anybody else? One more, then we'll get the feedback from you. Anyone else from the floor? Yes.
Hi, my name is Zach, Vigilant Zach. I'm with the Alliance for Democracy in Laos, and also a young professional for democracy in Laos. This is kind of strange how people don't know about Sombath Somphone, and this thing is going on for 2 years or more, and this is all over the world. So especially in Laos, you cannot deny that. But like everybody's saying here, you cannot deny anything but that. But the reason I have a lot of things here, a lot about the Lao government, is why are they one-party government? And ASEAN here, the reason why we are here because they are multi-party government. So I think as we going on for ASEAN, I think we need to kind of see where everybody at and try to be, instead of communism, try to be democracy. And I think here we get a better place to live. This is my question, so thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll open up back to the panel of CSOs here to say something on the issue of safety, and so maybe the substance is not whether you know or don't know, but it's a fact that there's concern about the disappearance of Dr. Sombath. So if you don't know, it's fine. Maybe you don't know, but why are you stopping others who want to take up the issue and blocking that issue being discussed? So two questions. So may I invite any CSOs from Laos who want to give some comment or feedback on this? Any CSOs there from Laos? Just I saw some hands there. Anybody wants to respond? I'm just asking, yeah. But yeah, I'm just trying to get others first, come back second round. Those who have not spoken, we need to listen to what you think and what you say. Yeah. CSOs, you can speak in Lao, and then we can get translated. Yeah.
Hello, เจ้าข้าพเจ้าแนะนำคนลาวคนหนึ่งเนาะที่ได้ยินหลายคนที่ได้เว้าถึงว่าท่านSombath Somphoneเนาะว่าบ่หายสาบสูญหรือว่าอย่างนั้นแต่พวกเฮาก็คนลาวแนะนำคนลาวพวกเฮาก็ดีใจเสียใจคือกันที่ได้ยินแบบนั้นเนาะแต่ว่าเฮาสิแนวใดทุกคนเฮาก็อยากให้ต้องการให้Sombath Somphoneเข้ามาและทุกคนลาวเฮาก็คือกันเนาะแต่ว่าสิแนวใดเฮาบ่รู้ว่าเราอยู่ไสอย่างแนวใดมันถามว่า ได้ฮู้เฮาก็เชิญให้ตอบเนาะกับหมู่อันเนี้ยก็เสียใจคือกัน
I try to translate. I'm not English translator. She is expressed that actually we also talk about Sombath Somphone, we also love and miss him. Actually, we have no idea and about him. If we know about him, we can share for you. And we also can ask you if anyone of you can know him or that you can share for us as well.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Any others here? So yes, just a moment. Here, anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I did translator.
Yes.
I want to talk in Laos.
Yes.
Maybe some. For me, สำหรับค่อยเนาะเรื่องที่ว่าการหายทราบซึ้งเรื่องนี้ก็พอกันมาหลายคิดว่าอย่างว่าอื่นเนาะคือเรื่องอันว่าลาวปลอดภัยเนาะครับข้าพเจ้าก็เรียกกันตะกี้ก็เคยทั้งเฮ็ดนำรัฐทั้งเป็นนักธุรกิจทำเรียกพัฒนามานี่ก็10 กว่าปีร่วมกับองค์การของต่างประเทศเนาะแต่ก็ข้าพเจ้าอยู่ลาวนี่บ่รู้สึกว่ายานเนี่ยแล้วก็รู้สึกว่าปลอดภัยหมู่ก็มายามคนไทยนักธุรกิจก็มาก็ไปซุมื้อนี้ธรรมดา
Okay. I forgot to translate.
I am sorry. I would like another translator because I am a Thai and I can understand what she said and I disagree with the translation. Thank you.
Can we have a volunteer?
Yeah, I mean he's not a translator, so you can have translator.
But I'm not quite sure that my English is good enough. So he mentioned that why we have to talk about religious issues. He has been working here in Laos like more than 10 years, right? He used to work for business sectors.
คิดว่าเป็นแปลบ่นั่นปานใดเนาะบ่เองเลยเพราะว่าบ่ภาษาอังกฤษก็บ่ไว้ใจภาษาอังกฤษตัวเองแต่นี่มันผ่านอันนี้ได้บ่แม่ก็คือว่าค่อยเป็นคนลาวนะเฮ็ดเวียกอยู่ลาวมาทั้งภาครัฐทั้งนักธุรกิจทั้งเฮ็ดเวียกการพัฒนานี่10 กว่าปีแล้วแปล
He worked in Laos for more than 10 years for the government sectors, for business sector and private sector.
แต่ว่าเฉพาะงานพัฒนานี่10 กว่าปีบ่ได้ละ
Especially for the development for more than 10 years.
เพราะฉะนั้นพวกหมู่นักธุรกิจเข้ามาลาวก็พวกอันที่ว่าเป็นนักพัฒนาบอกก็เฮ็ดกับไทยแต่องค์การต่างประเทศเข้ามาก็บ่เห็นว่าสิเป็นตาย่านหยังนะ
From his perspective, the
แล้วก็ตัวมือนี่ก็บ่เป็นตาย่านหยัง
from many countries like from Thailand, Philippines are also feel secure to be in Laos to work in Laos.
เพราะว่าเรื่องกรณีทางสมบัติก็ได้ยินอยู่ครับตัวเองก็รู้จักอันนี้ก็ต้องได้ให้ผู้รับผิดชอบเพิ่นเว้าพวกเจ้าหน้าที่เพิ่นอันนี้เขาก็บ่รู้แต่ว่าเขาเองก็บ่รู้สึกย่านแล้วก็หมู่ปองที่มาก็บ่รู้สึกย่าน
He doesn't know a lot of information, all the clear information about that, so he will let the concerned organization to explain.
คิดว่าถ้าทั้ง CSO นี่ย่านไปลาวนี่คิดว่ามันบ่มีเหตุผลเพราะว่าเดี๋ยวนี้นักท่องเที่ยวมันยังก็ไปหลายคิดว่าตัวนี้เรื่องนี้คือที่บ่ย่าน
If CSO are afraid to go to Laos in terms of the feeling of insecure or insecurities, he said that it's not quite strong reason.
It's not quite a strong reason to feel insecure. Yeah.
Basically, there's no reason to be scared to go to Laos. It's not dangerous.
Okay. Right. Thanks. So, can we? You have passed the test. Can we now ask you to be the official translator?
Yeah.
So.
It's not too difficult.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We asked her to repeat to translate the...
Oh yeah, do you remember what she said this time?
So do you want me to speak in Lao first and then translate?
So I am very happy. I am very sad to hear that all people talk about Sombath Somphone. But I don't know.
She said that she...
So I'm also confused. She considering her own automatic language skills. Thank you. Okay, you want to continue or is it okay? Yeah? Okay, so we'll continue. Yes. There's a mic over here. Yeah.
โดยเดี๋ยวข่าวพระเจ้าขอบอกเป็นภาษาลาวเนาะเพราะว่าอันนี้เนี่ยคือสำหรับข้าพเจ้าในฐานะคนลาวคนหนึ่งเนาะแต่ว่าเรื่องการหายสับสนไปของทางสมบัติสมพรเนาะสำหรับข้าพเจ้านี่คิดว่าตามที่ฟังทานเป็นบอกว่าทานเป็นที่อยู่ในประเทศลาวเนาะเป็นว่าเป็นบ่รู้สึกว่าย่านกลัวหรือว่าบ่รู้สึกว่ามีหยังที่หายแห้งสำหรับอยู่ในประเทศลาวเนาะแต่ว่าการหายสับสนไปของฐานตัวสมบัติสมพรเฮาต้องคิดว่าเฮาในฐานะเจ้าของประเทศเฮามั่นใจว่าเฮาบ่มีความรู้สึกย่านหยังแต่สิ่งที่ทางสมบัติสมพรสุดท้ายสับสนไปอยู่ในประเทศลาวเนาะเฮาบ่สามารถที่สร้างความมั่นใจให้กับประเทศเพื่อนบ้านเนาะแต่สำหรับข้าพเจ้าคิดว่าเฮาสิเฮ็ดแบบใดสิในเมื่อว่าทางกับปฏิเสธว่าทางบ่ฮู้บ่เห็นเนาะแต่เฮาสิสร้างความมั่นใจให้กับต่างชาติหรือว่าทั่วโลกเขาแบบใดแล้วท่านจะยืนยันได้บ่ว่าสิบ่เกิดขึ้นอีกในแบบว่ากรณีแบบนี้เนาะเข้าใจ
Hello? Okay. Yes, not speak too good English, I'm going to translate to Laos. But as for the Laos citizen in Laos, if you in Laos and don't know what's going on in Laos as far as the Sombath Somphone goes, and how are you going to get safety for the neighboring country to go visit? You are Laos PDR, and if you looking at the as far as the people going to visit or to do APR APF in Laos, you cannot guarantee safety for people, and for that reason, why should we do it there? That's what he's trying to say. So.
Okay, thank you. Any other? You want to add something? Yes.
ข้าพเจ้าอยากขอกล่าวความเป็นจริงเรื่องท่านสมบัติสมพร
I would like to say something about Sombath Somphone.
ก่อนท่านสมบัติสมพรจะหายสาบสูญท่านสมบัติสมพรรู้ดีว่าท่านสมบัติสมพรได้เป็นประธานของกองประชุมมวลชนต่อกองประชุมASEANอยู่ลาวและเพิ่นได้กล่าวเรื่องบ่เห็นพร้อมระบบการพัฒนาอยู่ในประเทศลาวโดยเฉพาะการทำลายธรรมชาติน้ำเทินทางการสปปลาวได้พยายามสกัดกั้นการเคลื่อนไหวของเพิ่นแล้วเพิ่นรู้สึกว่าบ่ปลอดภัยแล้วต่อมาก็เพิ่นก็ถึงหายสาบสูญซึ่งพวกเราได้เห็นซีที่เฝ้าได้เห็นความจริง
Before he disappeared from the TED TV, we all saw the news about how he was involving about the Namturn Dam, and he was working moving towards Sainaburi Dam at that time.
May I
just one minute.
You want to help translate now?
พวกเราเข้าใจว่าทางการสปป.ลาวรัฐบาลสปป.ลาวพยายามสกัดกั้นบ่ให้คนลาวกล้าปากกล้าเว้าแล้วหลังจากท่านสมบัติสมพรหายสาบสูญเพิ่นปฏิเสธบอกความร่วมที่2ทั้งที่มีหลักฐานให้อยู่ใน CCTV และยังบ่พอเท่านั้นเพิ่นก็ยังห้ามบ่ให้คนลาวเว้าคู่คนลาวที่นอกประเทศอีกไปเว้าเรื่องท่านสมบัติสมพรจะบ่ให้วีซ่าเข้าประเทศลาว
At that time, after the news about Sombath Somphone disappearance, there's a news that coming out from the government saying that they don't see, don't hear about Sombath Somphone disappearance.
ทางการสปป.ลาวรู้ดีว่าท่านสมบัติสมพรนั้นหายสาบสูญเพราะว่าเพิ่นเป็นผู้เฮ็ดให้หายสาบสูญแต่บ่ยอมรับ
So the government knows something about it, but they just don't want to talk about it. That's about Lao people knows and understand.
Okay, I think there's a lot of discussion about Sombath Somphone, but there's still two more issues not discussed. Soji issue and indigenous and multi-party democracy. And so these are some of the issues that we say. Can we talk about this? Yeah. Yes, I see 1, 2, 3. Yes, Phil, there's a mic. Let me just switch it on.
I don't know. I speak very loudly anyway. I mean, I think that the larger issue that there's a concern about is the context of what happened and how this came about, particularly connected to the ASEAN People's Forum. That, in fact, there was a consultation process. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs was part of that process. They went to the various different provinces. But that at the end of the day, when people came to the Vientiane event, something had changed. And there was a serious problem connected with people being there who were from state security, people feeling intimidated, people feeling that they wasn't safe. There were people shouted down or taken away, pushed out of the meeting. And the problem that we see is that this is not an environment that is amenable to meaningful participation from Laos Civil Society. There is a threat, there is intimidation.
This meeting you're talking about is about which meeting?
ASEAN meeting.
ASEAN People's Forum. This was the lead into the whole issue of Sombath, and everybody's talked about Sombath already, so I'm not going to talk about that, But the issue is that there is a context that changed, and that is caused of fear. So, if you don't have a platform for the Lao people to participate in a way that they are not afraid to do so, then that causes some fundamental problems for the operation of the People's Forum.
I saw another hand there and two here. So, that might.
I'm not sure that's working.
I think for those, and Corina Lopa from the Southeast Asian Committee for Advocacy, for the Lao people who would like to organize an AEPF in Lao, you must understand that the AEPF is an open platform. It is a free platform. It is a citizens' platform. It's not a government platform. We need to hear from you that you can assure that there will be openness. No one's going to tell us not to discuss anything. People must be able to go there and talk about anything, even if it offends other people, but it has to be a safe place as well. And we cannot feel any pressure from any government when we go there. So if you cannot assure us that they will not pressure you, that they will not intimidate us, then there's no reason for us to go. We must find another place that will give us that environment that we need to be able to get together and do the community building that we need to do. We don't want to deal with all these issues where you prevent us from talking, because that is the whole point of the exercise, that we come together to understand each other's problems and to work together in solidarity. So I think the burden is on you. You must prove to us that we should go to Laos, otherwise we are not coming.
I think just to add, can you put it in person? To the back. So just to add on to that before you take on the mic is we invited the
first secretary of the Laos embassy in Kuala Lumpur to the last dialogue. And I think some of these questions were raised to him. I think similar, all the questions mentioned. And he did not answer. He said, I will take it down and get back to Capital and get back to you. But we've not heard anything since then. So I think I'm trying to link to the context of how to, the ball is in the court of the government and in Laos and yourselves to give us more information, to build the confidence that people are convinced that this is not what's going to happen after the experience of ASEAN, and how then we can help us take steps to move forward. So I think that's probably the background of all this discussion. Over to you.
I just wanted to comment quickly on the lady's remark about Sombath Somphone. In fact, he never worked on Nam 2. I should know because I was one of the main people on the ground working on Nam 2 in 2005-6-7. He also never worked on Sayapuri Dam. I don't think we should, make up stories about Sombath Somphone to say he was some radical activist. He wasn't. He was a development worker. He was a community worker. He never did anything threatening to the government. There was no reason to adopt him, except for the fact that when the international partners decided to hold the AEPF in Laos, and when Lao people were endangered, that he went to their assistance. And a man who was very highly respected, who won the human rights war of ASEAN, if that can happen to him, then it can really happen to anyone.
Right. Thank you. I see a hand at the back, just behind you, then someone at the back.
I'm Isaac from Myanmar. I'm a government continuing. I'm reflecting myself when my friends here are talking about Sombath. Actually, he's my friend too. At the same time, we are discussing about whether it is safe for all participants, not only from outside Laos and also from Laos. If we organize the EPF next year, this is what I see what we are discussing about. Of course, in that sense, we have to respond. We have to deal with three very important issues. And at the same time, I'm also reflecting myself that what the Lao EPF National Committee has the idea that what is your condition that you want. Actually, now we are discussing next EPF will be inside Laos or outside Laos. So what will be your gain and lose? No? So what is pros and cons? Actually, I would like to hear your perspective, and it's very important that you mentioned that EPF, I was there. So actually, we as a civil society coming from the democratic countries, we already, we are something where sometimes it's very unfriendly with those kind of situations. So it might create that is some threat to our friends living inside the country. Because I come from Burma, very repressive experience. I understand very well that situation. So this, I really still respect the perspective of your Laos Civil Society committee. You are responsible. I understand whatever you talk about here because I come through, went through that experience, 10 years under repressive military rule. So what we in Myanmar experience, we understand, I understand very well what is allowed, what is not allowed. At the same time, for us still, how to engage with that limited situation. You know, it's very, working on the fence, this side, that side. So I'd like to ask the perspective of our national committee. What's your idea for that?
This person mic in front to Sumita.
Sumita from my Vision Working Group. I just remembered something that you mentioned during your the regional federation meetings. You mentioned that the Laos government is agreeable to organize the APF. And we found that very peculiar because the APF is done by the civil society. The government doesn't have to give you approval to do the APF. Even here, we just did the APF and then we told the government, hey, we're doing the APF. That's it. So the fact that you came and told us that the Laos government is giving you approval to doing the APF itself set some alarm bells ringing with us. And I actually want to know, is it you who's going to do the APF? If you are going to do the APF, then you shouldn't be placing any restrictions on the CSOs to speak what we should speak and not. If it's the government that is doing the APF, then it cannot be called the People's Forum at all. You cannot use that name. The ASEAN People's Forum cannot be used by the government at all.
Okay, one here. Oh, yeah, please. Hello. Thank you very much. Let me say in Lao language, and then I will ask my colleagues to translate in English language. So maybe it's okay or not, but try to understand. เจ้าขอขอบใจเนาะที่ว่าเพราะว่าคิดว่าในเซสชั่นนี้คิดว่าเป็นเซสชั่นหนึ่งที่ว่าเว้าเกี่ยวกับว่ากองประชุมปีหน้าสิได้จัดเวลาบ่เนาะที่ว่าเป้าหมายตัวนี้เนาะแต่ยังไงหันว่า
As far as I understand, this section is mainly talks about the issue that we'll be covering in the next APF.
แต่ว่าก็ดีใจแล้วที่ว่าพวกเขาทุกคนเป็น CSO ที่ว่าเป็น CSO นึงที่ว่ามีความเคลื่อนไหวในการช่วยภาครัฐบาลเนาะที่ว่าพวกเขาทุกคนเป็น CSO ที่ว่าขับเคลื่อนที่ไหนให้ประชาชนอยู่ดีมีแห่งทางด้านสิทธิมนุษย์ทางด้านอย่างต่างๆเนาะที่ว่าเป็นการดีที่สุด
I appreciate that all CSO here are very active in bringing development and welfare to the life of people in ASEAN.
แต่ว่าสิ่งที่ว่าภาคภูมิใจที่สุดก็เป็นพวกเขากับหางได้เขาพูดที่ว่าสมบัติสมพรเนาะถึงจะเป็นที่ว่าเป็นนักพัฒนาที่ดีที่ว่าช่วยเหลือทั้งคนลาวและกับหมู่เพื่อนร่วมอาเซียนหรือว่าต่างชาติเนาะ
The most impressive thing that I acknowledge is that Mr. Sombath Somphone is there. Speak louder, please.
I don't think that's working.
That all CSO recognize and have been working with him.
แต่ว่าจังได๋ก็ตามเนาะตัวนี้ก็บ่แม่นว่าพวกเขาที่ว่า CSO นี่จะเป็นผู้มาเกี่ยวของเกี่ยวกับตัวนี้เนาะฉะนั้นมันก็มีว่าทางภาคส่วนที่เกี่ยวของคิดว่าส่วนตัวเนาะทางส่วนที่เกี่ยวของก็จะเป็นหน้าที่ของเราแต่ว่าในวันนี้จะให้เฮามาว่าปี2016ลาวสิได้จัดหรือบ่ได้จัดอันนี้ก็อยากให้ว่าตัวนี้เลยเนาะเพราะว่าตัวเรื่องต่างๆก็คือว่าเพราะว่า for ตัวนี้มันเป็น discussion about 5 topic that we discuss right now sorry
He said we would like to let the issues of Mr. Sombath Somphone to be the responsibility of the concerned organizations because they work on investigation. That would be the most suitable organization to work on this issue. So for us, it's to discuss about the topic that we talk in the 2016 APF.
เพราะว่าเดี๋ยวนี้มันเขามานั่งมันเขาเป็น CSO เนาะที่ว่ามาว่าปีหน้าปี2016หาได้จัดบ่หรือบ่ได้จัดก็ขึ้นกับมันเฮาซะนั่นก็มีแต่ว่า เหมือนเฮามาเว้าตัวนี้เนาะว่าเฮาสิได้เป็นบ่ได้เป็นอันนี้ก็ขึ้นกับ CSO เฮามาทุกคนมีความเห็น
So the main issues from today's meeting is that we discussed about whether Lao is suitable to be the host of APF in 2016. So it depends on you guys to decide.
แล้วก็ถ้ากลับคืน wait okay we are the same equal yep you are gender we are gender เกี่ยวกับถ้าหากว่าเนาะถ้าหากว่าเฮามาเว้าเรื่องว่าประเทศมีความสงบบ่ประเทศมีปลอดภัยอย่างบ่ทุกประเทศอาเซียนหรือว่านี่มีหมดความปลอดภัยแล้วก็บางอย่างก็มีว่ามีการจกกระเป๋ากันบ่อันนี้ก็บ่ปลอดภัยอันนี้ก็ขึ้นแต่นำสถานการณ์อย่างต่างๆแต่ว่าทุกคนแม่นอยู่คิดว่าเนาะที่ว่าอันนั้นคิดว่าแม่นเฮ็ดเรียกตามไผลาวก็คิดว่า10ประเทศอาเซียนนี่ก็ปลอดภัยเนาะ
If we talk about the security issue in ASEAN, he thought that every countries in ASEAN are very secure.
และก็ภายใต้การร่วมมือของภายใต้การร่วมมือของ CSO มาทุกคนนี่ว่าเฮ็ดจังได๋ครับ
What is the last word you want?
Very secure.
Secure. Security.
Very secure. Public safety. Public safety.
นั่นล่ะ sorry เดี๋ยวฉะนั้นคิดว่า10ประเทศอาเซียนจนว่าบ่มีวีซ่าเนาะเดี๋ยวนี้บ่มีวีซ่าผู้ใดเข้าออกไปทางใดก็ได้เหมือนโดยว่าบ่ได้รับวีซ่าโดยว่าทุกคนไปตามระเบียบตามกฎหมายอย่างต่างๆของแต่ละประเทศวางไว้ฉะนั้นถ้าว่าผู้ใดไปแนวใดก็ถ้าว่าไปดีก็เจอมีแต่สิ่งดีๆถ้าว่าไปแนวบ่ดีก็อันนี้มันก็ขึ้นแต่ละสภาพเนาะ
He raised the example of the visa exemptions in ASEAN that you can go to all 10 members countries without apply for visa. So it signifies that the security are happening here.
Okay, that's your perspective on security, Okay, but it doesn't answer the questions that was asked, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to the questions on the table. Many direct questions on. So we want to ask the CSOs from Laos. Anybody wants to add anything?
Yes. I think it's today we talk about the Laos situation from the Mr. Sombath disappearance. But I want to everybody to listen for the output CSO meeting in March 10 and 11. This is a consensus from the National Civil Society in there. Maybe respond for.
No, we've seen the statement. Now the people are asking directly, so we don't need to read the statement again. Is it true that Soji, you cannot discuss Soji issues, you cannot discuss indigenous issues, you cannot discuss Sombath Somphone, you cannot discuss multi-party democracy? Is it true? Very straight question. So yes or no, we cannot discuss. We go to Laos, are we not allowed to discuss these 5 issues or 6 issues? Can you answer that? Can you answer that?
You understand the question? You understand the question? The question is, I tell you now. เดี๋ยวนี้มีคนเล่าว่าอยู่ลาวนี่หรือว่าคนบ่ได้บ่เรื่องอินเตอร์บ่ได้บ่เรื่องพักหลายบ่ได้แม่นแท้บ่
A long time to answer.
Related to the democracy.
เข้าใจยากเนาะ
I think look for the they prefer to Lao English and English.
because my colleagues want to know some Lao English. เรื่องของภาษาธิปไตยนะบ้านเฮามันก็มีขอบเขตเนาะบ่เป็นเสรีทั่วอยากเฮ็ดก็เฮ็ดเนาะแต่ว่าภาษาธิปไตยเฮานี่มันมีขอบเขตภายใต้กฎหมายของประเทศเฮาทุกอย่างใครเฮ็ดผิดก็คือผิดต่างประเทศก็ต้องได้เว้ากันเรื่องกฎหมายคนลาวก็ต้องได้เว้ากันเรื่องกฎหมายคือกัน
What is that? Is that the democracy in Laos? It's
limited by law.
Limited by law.
This mic is not very strong.
There's no law about Sombath Somphone. There's no law about indigenous people and whether they...
Yeah, they haven't come to that. That's the first point. This is on democracy. The other point about indigenous and Soji, can they... they haven't got to that. Yeah, it's going one by one.
Okay, I will talk about indigenous people. Actually, I don't see any indigenous people in Laos. Because all the Lao people who are inside the Lao land are all equals. Unless...
What a joke.
Remember, because...
Some people are more equal, yeah?
As I said to you that because of you are thinking different from my thinking. That is the gate between us. Pardon? I'm in the top of the mountain.
That's
Where
why.
you say I'm the indigenous people.
On which planet?
No, okay, I think we
So I have no defender here. So
just a moment. I think we don't have this conversation. We don't need your comments. You can write it down if you have so much to express. When he finishes, then you can take the mic again. So he says there's no indigenous people. We've had this conversation
Excuse me,
before.
sir.
Yes.
The question is yes or no. How simple is that?
Yeah.
Why are we answering so around the thing?
No, but he's answering there's no indigenous people, so he's answering there's no.
Yes
don't
or
need
no?
to discuss. Yeah.
Can I
Yes.
make a very quick comment
Yeah.
on that? You know, I spent 5.5 years in southern Laos working
I'm convinced you worked very long time in
indigenous
Laos.
people. I worked with indigenous people and I worked with people that self-identified as indigenous.
Can you, what are the name of the community? Someone might.
No, I'm not going to tell you the name of the community because they'll be persecuted.
But if it's public knowledge,
No, it's just the idea of indigenous person. There's no definition in UN drift.
no, I'm trying to say that there's a gap because you saying self-identification. He has no knowledge of the concept of
He is
indigenous.
saying that there is no indigenous people in Laos, and that's his opinion. And
Yeah, so
I'm
exactly.
saying, well, that's one man's opinion,
Yeah.
and he says that because the government of Laos says there are no indigenous people. It's
Correct,
the multi-ethnic
right,
group, right? Everybody's equal. This is the Communist Party line. But I have met and worked with people who self-identify as indigenous. They call themselves indigenous people. And if you look at the generally accepted, understanding of what an indigenous person is, if somebody identifies as indigenous, then they are indigenous. So the fact that I know people in Laos who call themselves indigenous means actually, sir, there are indigenous people in Laos. It's as simple as that.
What's that?
It's a same conversation again, and I'm not hearing anything new. What is important now? Yes, we know what is your stand and position on these. I think by now we know what's your position and stand on indigenous issues, on LGBT, Soji issues, Sombath Somphone. That's not the question here. The question is, regardless of your position, okay, on these issues in the context of Laos, okay, within the context that you're working on, can we, the people of ASEAN, if we come to Laos next year for the APF, and if I want to identify myself as a lesbian or an indigenous person, will I have a safe space to talk about my identity, my issues? I think that is the question that we really want answered. Okay? That's the main one. I mean, I would actually also want to know if there are others within Laos who would want to raise
raise these issues, would they be able to do it without persecution? Okay? That's what we want to know. We don't want to hear any more your justification on the issues.
Yes.
Okay, so
more. Actually, I already asked the question that what is your idea? Because we raised this issue, is talking about the safety of yours and safety of us, and what is your direct response? The question is, you want to organize APF next year in Laos? Is first. In which condition this will be? And then still we are again this issue. So please answer. Do you want to organize EPF next year in Laos, or you want to organize EPF outside Laos? This is the first question. Then we can discuss. We can.
Actually, we are finding the answer to your question, but not by them saying that you want to organize or not, but the substance of whether in organizing it, it means it's a free space, it's a secure space, and there won't be threat to people who organize it. So that will help inform our decision.
Not government.
Yeah, APF. So I think, as Dr. Medon just told me, he said, that's the core of the issue that we need to answer now if we want to handle the APF. So I think we've heard the statement, the issues already highlighted. So this is a concern of, it seems, many NGOs here and many people who are not here about having an APF in Laos. One is, what are we allowed to, is it a free space to articulate, to talk different people's issue? It doesn't matter if you agree or don't agree, but is that a safe space? Is that space a secure space for the people coming in, and also secure for the organizers, and won't be a threat to their liberty and life? So these are the two big questions that.
And particularly also the case of the Lao people who want to come in and express ideas that may not necessarily agree with
I mean, it's generally,
government.
Yeah, maybe that's
Civil society organized, not government.
Okay, so just hold on. We take these two questions, whether they can answer, and if we can answer this, then we can take this. Who's going to organize it? Is it governments organizing or real civil society? And whether Laos people from outside Laos, is that your question, Phil? And inside.
People from
inside. That's
Laos.
already the second question. It's already there.
Yeah,
okay.
Part of it.
So what do you all think? We are basically saying we're not sure and we don't have the confidence. Do you think you have the answers now? The first question, is it a free space for us to come and discuss and talk anything without any fear?
Okay.
I can speak now?
Yeah. Because we're coming to the end.
First of all, somebody, พี่น้องชาวลาวแล้วกันเนาะ Good evening everybody. My name is Dr. Medon. My background is from France. I had my doctorate in chemistry. So excuse me for my poor English also. I think our session today, the main problem is the APF in Laos. We have problem with the Lao language, English of course, but please try to understand my poor English, okay? There are many questions concerning the security, right? In my point of view, when you go to Laos, the Laos police, the Laos immigration, never ask, who are you? Never ask, are you LGBT? never ask you are indigenous people.
No,
Never ask you are IT.
Medan, this just to make, because he's answered this before, just to go straight to the next point, it's not that they will ask the immigration. We are now inside. Can we discuss and talk freely in the APF?
Yes.
Yeah. So
concerning the APF, some people are not concerned the government, right? Is concerned the APF.
Yeah.
Can you speak into the mic?
I mean 10 steering committee join together and form a kind of ASEAN CSO, right? The ASEAN CSO should take the lead. We have to decide what kind of thing to do in the APF, in Lao PDR, not the government. And the last CSO, we should follow the ASEAN principle and how to say the best practice of the custom of ASEAN, right? But we have to how to consult with the government who should protect us. The Laos police should come, like in Kuala Lumpur, right?
Gerald, can you give him that mic?
They should come and assure the security for us. The simple security. That's why we have to ask the Lao government, we ask the police to help us, to assist us, to protect us, to facilitate us. We have to ask the Lao government some portion of the budget, I think, like in Malaysian plan, in Malaysia also. That's why after we undertake the meeting last month on the 10th to 11th, I think, we undertake the CSO meeting at the national level. We reached the consensus that the Lao CSO are willing and ready to be the host of APF 2016. But if we, the ASEAN CSO, are not comfortable, we have to listen from you. What is the main things, the main issue? As I understand that every people concerned about security, right? So if you ask the government to confirm that nobody, to confirm that the security, how to say, 100% security, right? Something like this. I think the government cannot assure. Because it depends the activity, let's say, of everybody, right? For the last time I said the good people, right?
Don't say it. Don't say it. Because the last time you said there's a lot of reaction. Don't say it.
For the good people, I think no problem.
Say it again. Okay, Dr. Medon, that meeting that was called last time, was that called by the government? The meeting when you met all the
I have to explain. After the meeting, right? After the consensus that the Laos CSO are we ready to post the APF 2016. We approach the government. First, we approach the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We approach the Ministry of Moha.
Okay, so you get it. You had a meeting on your own, and then you meet the government. Okay.
We never say that we ask the agreement from the government.
Okay. All right.
We ask the support.
Okay. So,
different.
So just a moment. If in APF 2016 we come up with a statement like this, how would it be? Would your government be happy? Would the Laos CSOs be comfortable? Or you will come up with another statement like the one you came up the last time?
Where will we disappear?
Or more seriously, will there be impact on the organizers and there will be disappearance? This is our question, because even now when it's in Malaysia, this statement, you have a strong reaction on our statement that is organized in Malaysia about Sombath is one issue, but many other issues you say you're not comfortable. How are we going to be more comfortable when we're going to bring the same issue? I'm so sure this APF here will bring this same issues or even more into Laos. So if you get this statement in the Laos APF 2016, what is going to happen? You are going to be in trouble because your government does not agree with this. Because you said Laos people are no indigenous. So there's going to be a serious problem for you and your team.
Thank you for protecting us. Well, you know, the statement is come from 10 countries, not from the Lao CSO. Normally, the statement should be a kind of working paper, like last time. We dispute every government have this paper already. I understand that in Lao PDR, this statement, the government sent to the institution of affairs to study. Then, of course, the government should have some reflection, like the last CSO. I don't know if he said or not, so I followed. The main objective of the statement is for the what we would like to point out the mistake of something wrong, right?
Yeah.
So the government should
we know the concept of a statement. Now we are trying to ask whether we can do it or not in the next APF. Yes, Glenn.
ขอโทษเนาะขอใส่ภาษาลาวคำถามเนาะข้าพเจ้าอยากคำถามอาจารย์เนาะสมมติว่าเนาะAPF อยู่ในลาวคือเขียนเอกสารแบบอยู่ในมาเลเซียนะอาจารย์คิดว่าสิ่งมีปัญหาของประเทศลาวของคนลาว CSO คนลาวบ่มีบ่
ข้าพเจ้าคิดว่าคือสิเป็นไปบ่ได้บ่มีหยัง
บ่มีปัญหาเนี่ย
บ่มีปัญหา
ขั้นถ้าว่าบ่มีปัญหาเป็นยังเป็นอย่างนี้เสนอหลายอันนะเฮ็ดเขียนตัวนี้บ่ได้เขียนอันนั้นบ่ได้เป็นยังว้าวเป็นอันนี้
แม่นไผว่าเขียนบ่ได้แม่นไผว่าบ่ได้
เอกสารตัวนี้ก็เขียนเลย
ว้าว
เกี่ยวกับสมบัติสมผงเขียนบ่ได้อินดิจิทัลเขียนบ่ได้
Many people I think the misunderstanding of the Laos CSO resolution. Yes, we have some reflection about the Sombath Somphone paragraph. We propose before this, the drafting committee put Lao PDR inside. Myself, I interviewed. No need to put Lao PDR because we have 10 countries, but the many places, no other name, no other name of the other country, only Lao. But If the good things, it's okay. But this case, discredit the Lao people, or you reuse the reputation of the Lao people. So the traffic committee and the security agree. They take out the Lao PDR. Thank you very much.
So basically he said that he doesn't think there would be a problem if there's a statement come out like this. As an direct answer to your question, he doesn't believe there's going to be a problem. None of them believe there will be a problem if the statement comes out like that.
So I propose to delete the name of the people, the personnel of the individual. I don't say Sombath Somphone. I propose the general context, general technique to write the statement.
เดี๋ยว propose ซื่อๆเนาะถ้าว่าคนนั้นบ่สนใจก็บ่สนใจก็ได้คำชี้แจง
I propose to delete Sombath Somphone and send the general
แต่ว่าไอ้ก็คิดว่าหลายคนก็บ่เห็นดีปานใดแต่บ่มันหยังเนาะ
If you would like to maintain Sombath Somphone, please add another name. Some sign, for example, in Thailand, because now many people read this paragraph, for instance, some alien. I
have one last question that still hasn't been answered. ข้าพเจ้าเข้าใจว่าถ้าว่าคนต่างประเทศกับภายเราก็คือสิบ่มีปัญหาข้าพเจ้าก็คิดว่าบ่มีปัญหาคือการนี้ APF ก็บ่มีปัญหาหยังเนาะแต่ว่าเนาะข้าพเจ้าก็ยานว่าเนาะถ้าว่าคนเราก็ว้าวเนาะอยู่ในผสมคือมีอยู่ APF เนาะว้าวเกี่ยวกับปัญหาอยู่ในลาวเนาะรัฐบาลของเราบ่เห็นดีและสิมีปัญหาของผู้ว้าวและมีปัญหาของCSO ของผู้ว้าวนะ
Translation.
I'm trying to get very clearly to this issue of I don't actually believe there's going to be a problem for foreigners going to Laos. The government would be silly to do anything. The problem is related to whether Lao people who speak out in a session at the APF would be in danger.
So you asked him that.
Yeah, I asked him that directly.
You have the answer?
Yes. My understanding is the Lao government never said that they want to hear the name of support. That is right.
No. This is question.
สมมุติว่าอยู่ในประชุม APF พี่นาถ้าว่ามีคนลาวก็ว้าวเกี่ยวกับปัญหาอยู่ในลาวคือว่ามีทรัพย์สินหลายโพสต์หรือมีปัญหาของประชาชนหรือว่าแบบนี้ว่าเกี่ยวกับผิดกับนโยบายของรัฐบาลลาวคิดว่ามีปัญหา No problem เป็นยังจะมี problem อยู่ APF แต่ว่าเดี๋ยวนี้พวกนี้นั่นได้เปลี่ยนอยู่นะ
This is the reflection. That is the liberty, is the freedom. The last also we have the reflection. Why not?
So you are convinced that nothing will happen to the local CSOs if the CSOs come to our workshop and discuss about Sombath at the APF 2016, and then we go home, we say goodbye, and will they be safe or will they face investigation and more serious issues?
And I would just, if you do agree that you think there won't be a problem, I dispute that because at the APF, which was at a time when Laos was even more open than it is now, when a villager got up and spoke about the problems with land concessions in the land session, 20 minutes later, she was accosted by a deputy general of someone in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and told that she was lying, and to the point where she burst into tears in the middle of an international conference. And following that, there was an investigation of her, there was an investigation of the NGO she was working for, there was an investigation of her family in her hometown. And that was totally unacceptable. And the actions I see from the Lao government from that point until now is that actually the Lao government has become more oppressive and intransigent than it was in 2012. And I can't see how you can possibly think you can guarantee the safety of Lao people at the APF in 2016.
Okay, we'll just take your question or comment.
No, I just want to have a comment. I think that we have heard a lot of questions and concerns. I'm from Vietnam. And all the questions and concerns, I think, are very reasonable. But it seems to me that some of the questions may be out of capacity of our CSO friends here to answer, especially when they have very few. For example, if we are secure there when we come to Laos and so on and so forth. And I think that if we continue this way, it may be an unending non-stop discussion. So my suggestions, maybe another way of running, can we let our Laos friends know how we want the APF to be organized next year in Laos, what we want to be discussed there. For example, we want the APF to be organized by the people. We want to discuss about Sombath Somphone, we want to discuss about indigenous people and so on. And then we let our Laos friends to collect all these ideas, and they have back home meeting among themselves, and they will let us know if all our requests, our wish is acceptable for Laos, and then we can decide how we can go further. I think that may be more practical within a very limited time. That is my suggestion.
Yeah, I see Gus and Mike on the other side.
I want to hear actually from the lady beside you what she thinks about all of those questions. Is it possible for national CSOs like you, and she's not based it out, so that's why. Taking off from what Corina was also saying about our partners inside Laos who has been attending APF, ACSC from long before, are no longer here, have no longer responded to our emails, etc. It just shows that an APF, ACSC to be organized there will not have those locals who will have even the courage to go there. So even if we all go from Southeast Asia to Laos, we won't have those partners with us there because it would be safe to assume that they would not feel safe to come, especially because of what happened to Sombath after AAPF. So one's proposal to do that is, yes, it may sound practical, but I think the issue is already very clear, the divides are clear. We just have to decide as APF, ACSC 2015, if we want to help organize an ACSC, APF, with those who claim that they are the NOC, APF, ACSC Laos themselves. I think that is what we should decide among ourselves first.
Yes, thanks.
Yes, I want to dispute from the lady answering for the Lao, because I don't think that's appropriate, because I think they should answer that to themselves. As far as answering for the APF, it has to come from the Lao. My thing is, a lot of questions asking, but most of the thing is going back home and bring it back. When the Lao government bring somebody here, can they bring somebody smart a little bit, please? Because they need to have somebody translator. They need to have somebody that know what they're doing, come over here, not just going back home and try to answer later. That's not acceptable. That's my question. Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie.
Okay. I can understand where Ms. Van is coming from in terms of her recommendation. However, Dr. Madam and other people here have participated in all the previous 4 regional consultation meetings, during which we very clearly raised these issues. In the last regional consultation meeting, we spent almost half a day talking about Laos, raising our concerns, especially in response to the letter put out by the 40 CSOs. Now, by this time, someone of Dr. Naidong's caliber and the other friends who have been involved in that discussion, if they really wanted to host the APF, they would by now have already organized and come and said, okay, we know you have said your position and this is what we can do. So asking to stretch out the process again and say go again and go again is not going to be very productive, because it takes time for us as a process to start preparing for the next APF. And APF, it's a process, it takes time. So if we just keep on dragging on and on and on, we cannot move forward in terms of how we design. We cannot make a decision. So I do not want to be in a situation where we have this discussion again. We have had this discussion several times. It is time for us to be quite clear about where we are going. We should make a decision today. And I hope that decision is not to delay the decision.
Just for those who are not there, you have an extra comment?
No, I mean, well.
Is it yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, of course yes. I was surprised that there's no comment from Phil.
I think the comment is, I mean, from our perspective in terms of what we do in our work, we always work with different groups of people in different places. And one of the precepts we have is, of course, to ensure that people whose rights have been violated that we're interviewing, we're doing research with, that they don't come to harm as a result of our actions. And my concern here, frankly, is that if we hold this APF in Laos, that there's going to be harm caused to Lao people who are going to try to put their hand up and want to talk about dams. They're going to want to talk about forest concessions on the Lao-Vietnam border. They're going to want to talk about Chinese investment encroaching in the north. And these are topics that the Lao government is not comfortable to talk about and retaliates against persons who do so. And so we're potentially leading on, not necessarily the Lao CSOs in this room, because I think they know what they're in for here, but I think some of the communities and the villages and the people who, during the ASEAN, during the Asia-Europe People's Forum, when they had these first ever sort of public hearings to talk about their problems, all of a sudden thought that there was something different happening and they could raise their voice. Well, it hasn't turned out that way. So I think we have a responsibility also to Laos Civil Society, both formal and informal, to make sure that whatever decision we take doesn't cause them harm.
Yeah, I think that point is made. Okay, just to update those who are not there at the fourth consultation, there's a decision taken at that discussion that we made a decision not to make a decision about whether to take APF to Laos, because we don't have the confidence, we don't have the information and the replies we needed in order for us to say, yes, let's go there. So that's the decision that's standing now. So there's no decision there for a handover happening at this phase. And I think that this conversation is continuing from the last time. We're still not getting information, as you say, we've had so many rounds of this. So as it is, the decision is still standing based on the big group of 110 people at the last. So that's the background for those who are not there. Maybe a final comment from anyone here? Any final comments before we want to try to bring this to closure? Yes. Yeah. You want to add something before you? Okay.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
On behalf of the Laos CSO, I reconfirm that we willing and ready to host the APF next year. But if all of you are not comfortable, never mind. We respect the majority, we respect the order. But the question, if both of us Laos, where you want to organize?
Lots of places. Lots of places.
Okay, so he's going to be guided by what we decide. Anyway, it's going to be that. But also, I'm quite impressed that yesterday when he took the flag, he said democracy for all. Huh? Dr. Menon, that was like, whoa, give a hand to Dr. Menon, democracy for all. Okay, so we've come to, I think we've heard the comments discussion. As Debbie said, we are still in that cycle. We're not getting what concrete information, even the basic of who the 40 that signed the document, we still have not got. So I'm not sure whether we are getting the confidence here, information here, to come to the conclusion that we can move anywhere. And I think Menon has said that they want to organize it. They feel they're ready to organize it. But we have a list of questions that are not answered satisfactorily to build confidence. So at this stage, there's a real big gap between your side and us at this stage. So maybe we need to keep it open as this, because this is also not the larger APF. But Debbie said to make a decision here. I'm not sure whether there's a need to push it here, whether you want to give them the chance to answer more, or let the RSC discuss and get more national feedback on it. And then, because the last time we said that there's no urgency in that sense for a handover here, because APF is still away now. So that's what's on the table. Yes, I see two hands, Gus and Debbie.
The decision that we can make here is a recommendation to the APF, the bigger body. What do we want to recommend to them? What decision should they take? That is the decision this body can take. So we can either endorse or not. We go to Laos and then recommend this to the larger APF, ACSC. Tomorrow's the last day. So
tomorrow's the last day.
Tomorrow we decide. But this body can make already a recommendation.
Yes, Debbie.
And I recommend that we don't go now.
I think, so we finally come to that.
Did you have your Gus recommendation?
Yeah. Yes.
So,
that we don't go.
Gus recommendation is
we don't go. We decide to organize it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And decide to organize it somewhere. That's your proposal.
So to build on that, this meeting recommends to the APF, ACSC APF 2015, not to hand over to Laos on the grounds of concern for the safety of human rights defenders and community activists in Laos, and further that we open up the invitation, or we open up the opportunity to any other ASEAN country to make a bid to host the next year's APF, and that the RSC meets in July, or meets in July or August or whatever we set the date, to make a decision, to consider all the proposals and make a decision accordingly. I think we should make a proper recommendation in that way, and then it's up to whomever to make those arguments in the open forum tomorrow. That's my proposal, building on what Gus said.
Okay, anybody else has a proposal? Anyway, we have no space to. Well, that's okay. Go ahead.
Somebody mentioned before about Timor-Leste, and I understand that Timor-Leste is not officially part of ASEAN, so it seems to me if you were looking for a replacement, Timor-Leste I would even recommend, because it's a perfect opportunity, because the year after there will be another host country. So I would second that proposal, but say that actually we should recommend Timor-Leste as an alternative.
Yes, Jen.
In addition to what Debbie said,
In addition to what Debbie said, I would just add that in addition to safety concerns, that we also state in the manifest statement that we made, that we don't think that we can have an open discussion about all issues. I think that would bring light to the discussion.
Okay, so it all seems to be similar, these three. Any other ideas, thinking? There's one proposal by one from Vietnam to list out all the issues, concerns, and get them to answer directly and with information, proof. That was your proposal, right? One, to give them a list of all our questions, concerns, and ask them to go back and do that. That's one proposal. And the other proposal is to decide now that we don't have it in Laos because of all the concerns raised, and open it up for anybody else to host the next APF, and whether Timor or not. But and then Jia said to give the reasons of why you are not confident that we are going, we can do it there. So is that the proposal on the house now? More proposals?
But also to be very clear that I think it has to be clear that in our recommendation that it's not just based on concerns for the safety of human rights defenders and local human rights defenders and the issues, the lack of space or the lack of guarantee to freely discuss the key issues and name them, but also that in the months that this has been debated, there has not been a satisfactory response.
Okay. So I think it's all just adding and building and building. So I think we can stop there. If there's nobody else, yeah?
Our Lao friends, okay, with the resolution and suggestions.
I don't know what to say, but I just say according to my feeling. Because in my time of working with the organization, they have very good standard. And I say I have no experience. Why you don't open opportunity for me to learn? And then the organization, the chief of the, okay, you are the first. We will let you to learn and to study. So I get that. I'm very happy today. And that's my lesson learned. And I think that if we are so strict on standard or principle on guideline, without consideration, opportunity, the young or others aspects, that is very hard for each one of us. So I will say this is my last word. Thank you.
The others?
Yes. As I said, if you, all of you, don't want to ask to be the host, please tell us earlier. If you tell us, okay, you can organize the APF in Laos, 1 month or 2 months, we cannot accept. Never mind, I confirm that if you decide, if you don't agree for us to be the host, never mind, we respect. That is democracy, right?
So it's a belief of democracy.
Well, if we have no this, no that, how are we gonna do APF there? So the reason of the APF is all about democracy, freedom to speak, freedom to talk, freedom to religion and all, right? So if we have no this, no that, that's a no-no. So that's the whole point about the APF. So for me, I agree with everybody here. They shouldn't do that over there because if there's no right to speak, I mean, what's the point? That's all about the APF. That's my thing. So thank you.
May I make a comment, please? Hi, my name is Mari. I'm with Alliance for Democracy. And for those of you there, I'm in this Laos CSO on this side. Don't worry about it. And I would say, if the ASEAN rejected you, don't take this opportunity as a look at it for a positive way. Okay, don't make it such a negative way. Why is that? Because you're gonna learn from it. This is the time that then you're gonna go back and learn and see and list it out what's the plus side, what's the negative side, positive or negative. So you learn from that, and then maybe after 2018 or 2018 or 2017, I mean, along with all of those, you have the chance. This is an opportunity for you to learn and fix the problem, and let your government know what they have done wrong. If they have done right, I'm sure ASEAN organization will approve, and you will hold ASEAN civil society. Thank you.
Okay, I'm really in two minds about taking a proposal here to the APF. And I'll tell you why. Because this is setting a precedent on a country which has a bad human rights record. Now that means that every time we want to organize the APF, we have to be critical, honest, and courageous to decide to keep postponing the APF in many other countries. Because we've been organizing APF in all other countries, even in Brunei, without having such discussions. So now I'm asking you, if you're making a position on not having the APF in Laos, then it's a good standard setting for us, but we benchmark ourselves so high, I'm quite sure that the other countries that come next after that will, I don't know whether can qualify or automatically disqualify. What's the reasoning for disqualification for hosting of a people's forum? Because if the concern is to teach them, the government, as you say, to learn and to educate, I'm not sure that's going to happen with us not being there. I'm not sure that's going to happen. If the only concern is the security and safety of the people there, then we say it's a safety and security. We want to organize, but not do a rejection and say we want to do it in Timor very far. We just do it somewhere else. We need to still make it an APF Laos, but maybe around Laos. So it's still APF Laos, but not in Laos. To frame it differently, rather than to do what I'm hearing you say, reject APF in Laos because they don't qualify. Because I really believe none of our countries really, many of our countries are in serious, deep trouble. I really think Malaysia is in serious, deep trouble too. Actually, many things you have said in the last 2 days qualify you to be charged under the Sedition Act. I'm serious. It's just that because the chairmanship holds and nobody's recording, I mean, you'll all get away, you'll go home fine. But that law, the super oppressive law, is in place now. But I've not heard you attack us the way you've attacked Laos or other countries. And I understand the issue of Sombath. I understand the danger on human rights defenders. So I want to say, if we make a decision, it has ramification, implication for future APF. And I think we should then stick by that framework. And then I think it's fair. But we cannot make that decision without a long-term thinking by making a decision now to reject APF. So I'm more comfortable to keep the decision not to go to APF as a no decision like what was decided there, and just keep it floating, because that essentially means no APF in Laos at this point. but maybe get a group and whoever's involved, interested parties, to study the implication of such a decision of this nature. I think it is good benchmarking, and maybe there's no need for APF qualifying for a summit process. But I think let's do that as a serious exercise and activity. But I don't think we should be flippant about rejecting a people's forum in a country, and then next round just go and be qualified because a few NGOs are strong can do it. So I'm just asking a larger question on how for us to be consistent for the next 10 rounds. Because I really seriously think you should be taking our government to task much more in Malaysia. We are in serious trouble the last few days. I really need you all to take our issues up. Not to say Laos is serious, but I'm just putting all our cards opening up all our cards for that same scrutiny. So that's my only question. That's why I'm saying I'm half and half. How do we make a proposal that will help us take it forward in a better way?
May I ask some idea? My friend, I propose all of you to see the things in different angle. Minimum 2 angle. Everything have two things, good and bad. I would like to tell you a story, a real story. I had the opportunity to discuss with a foreigner. He asked me, hey, Tomedo, the case of Sombath Somphone affect to the Lao women and the Lao PDR so much? I said, yes. Why? I asked him back. He told me, you know, after the event of Sombath Somphone, many people, many foreigners are afraid to go to Laos. Many organizations, international organizations, stop to provide some aid, financial aid, technical assistance, something like this. I asked him back, you are right. But please see the thing in another angle. You see the back angle. We have sometimes a good angle also, right? Positive and negative. The guy told me, I don't know it. So listen to me. I agree with you that affect seriously to Lao women. I accept. But the event of Sombath Somphone, you know, in the world, many people, many countries don't know Lao, right? But after the story of Sombath Somphone, every people know, oh, Lao. It's a good thing. After that, you know, the tourist organizations just
โรงเรียนลาวพีโปแคลมีแต่คนลาวตบมือให้
for 4.1 million tourists go to Laos. I'm surprised. See?
We need to end. So
yes. And he said that the international organization stopped to aid Laos. I think not real. I just asked the World Bank about the statistic of the aid financial and general to Laos. The World Bank told me that it's increased 38%.
Madam, I must stop you because this things I think we can find out. It's okay. And we convince. Yes. But I think we are just here to try to bring some closure to this meeting. Yes, again, I see you.
I just want to reflect on what Gerald just said, just a little bit before we close this meeting. I think what we have heard from Dr. Maidom and the team is not very new. We have been through this in the months during the preparation, but I would like to reflect. I do agree that when we are talking about organizing such a a forum like ASEAN APF, if you're only looking at our government, maybe none of the ASEAN government deserve the APF, none. But I think the key point here is not about the government. You know, the serious problem that's happening in Malaysia right now or in our country when we organize ASEAN APF, at least we have us, the CSO, local people, react on what our government is doing to us. We would not have that chance in Laos. The people who are sitting here, even our old friend, the NGO, are not talking about what we are talking about, right? Everyone try to deny the key issues that we try to raise. And I think this is a very serious issue. If we cannot get the answer, you know, I mean, and we never get the answer. It's months and months, right? That we keep asking. Yeah. No guarantee, no answer. And it's not like that, like we don't have evidence. The evidence is every day. In the past 2 years, we have seen nothing come out, right, from Laos. And this is not only about Sombath, about Laos itself. So I think we have to really consider the key reason if we making a decision not to go there because we don't have friends there. We don't know what are we going to face, and that's it. And that's already been proved. We are not talking from nowhere. That's my opinion. Thank you.
All of our discussion, you know, the problem come from the Sombath Somphone event. If no this event, I think everything is good.
There's more. Okay.
Because
there's more, but Sombath Somphone is a big issue, but there's more. I think many people have already spoken about the different issues. Yes.
I would like to add on one point that was raised too, that one of the key factors that we should consider and make it our criteria is the safety of the local people themselves. And you all are expressed that you feel confident, but if the APF, that is a space that guarantees safety for people to speak of their issues, but it's not safe. Who can fix that problem when people die, get hurt, and disappear? And that's a reason that Laos CSOs could learn. Disappearance, killing, hurting are serious issues that we are very concerned about.
Yes, I think that this articulation has been made over and over again. I want to just close this meeting, but the proposal is up, and I've offered rethinking of it, and I'm not sure whether you want to just do it now, because I think, like Yang said, okay, she's proposing some criteria, but I think there needs to be greater thinking. What's the criteria on the rejection of an ASEAN People's Forum, and then use that as a modality, and then adopt that, and then every country should go through a scrutiny. I think that's a better way to move forward, because I'm really thinking so many countries got through scot-free without this scrutiny. Yeah, put your hand on there.
Yeah, I think it is very clear that we make our risk assessment, and then our Laos friends make their own risk assessment, and then there is a big gap. Yeah, so we couldn't come into an agreement at this stage. On the security issues for the local NGOs, Laos activists, as well as on the issues that can be discussed or not discussed. So I think there is a big gap, so that is very clear. I think that's fine. I think the next step probably is because the security issues, actually the question should be posed to the Lao government. Yeah. So if this APF is going to be taking place in Laos, then the Lao government need to guarantee that there is space for discussion of these issues, and also there will be the Sombath case will not happen again. So I think at this stage probably we will not be able to make a decision, and I would maybe suggest that maybe if there is a team or committee to actually pursue this with the Lao government to get the response on these issues, including Sombath Somphone. Yeah. And whether the Lao government, if the Lao government wants to convince the international community, the ASEAN community, they have to produce something that is very concrete, especially on the case of Sombath Somphone. Yeah. I think if the Lao government willing to do that, even remote surface combat, I think that will be a very positive indication that okay, this is something that would convince the international community. So I think, so my suggestion is not to make a decision to reject
at this point,
but to pursue this with the Lao government.
But the decision not to hand over stands.
Not to hand over.
Stands.
Yes.
And then get a small committee that directly asks the government these questions, and within a period of time, we need the answer. If not, then it's obviously no APF in Laos. Is that? Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that proposal. I see watch last time. Is that the last one?
I hope so.
Yeah. I am hoping so. My RSC members are all waiting for a meeting that is supposed to happen like an hour ago.
No, I think I appreciate what Yap has said. But we should also be cognizant of the fact that the civil society themselves, in putting out the statement, have also raised other concerns. They have censored certain issues. So yes, on one hand, you're concerned about the security, but even if the Lao government gives us the assurance, we don't want a situation where certain issues can, the CSOs themselves tell us that we can't raise certain issues. So that has to be clarified and really down.
So two points. These two pillars needs to get clear answers. I mean, the civil government is one and the CSOs on the list. And so if within that a short period of maybe 3 months from now, I'm just giving a time. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Just to clarify that even the Laos government come back and say, oh, we guarantee all this. It doesn't mean that automatically we say yes, APF is okay, go ahead.
All these are building blocks to build our confidence.
We still need to come back and discuss again.
So is that a middle way forward at this point? The decision to no handover is reaffirmed. Maybe for a short period of 3 months. I'm just putting a short number, 3 months. And a small team will then answer these two questions Wachla and Yap has said, one at the CSO level, one at the government level. With that input back, a quick re-evaluation of us, and then if we get those things, and then we will have to decide what to do. I think in the meanwhile, we also, while working in that, I would still think we can start working on that rejection framework of an APF in order to get it prepared. So,
Gerald, if the Malaysian NOC had written a letter last year saying no way you can talk about LGBT at Malaysian APF, there is no way we would be here doing it. The thing is this, the problem is not about the human rights record. The problem is guaranteed safety for local human rights defenders, that we do not endanger Malaysian human rights defenders by having APF here. And secondly, that our hosts are not actively opposing human rights issues. That is the criteria. It's not the human rights environment. It is the method. So it is very clear we can make this modality here and now, because that is the fundamental modality that we should be adopting for any APF, and that's what we did in the past APFs. It was not articulated that way, but that was how it was done, and that is what we need to formalize and codify. I don't see that requires 3 or 4 or 5 months of deliberation. It's absolutely clear.
Yes. I see no harm in a 3-month block. Why the need to make the decision now?
Just delaying the pain.
The pain of whom?
The pain of everybody having to sit through this ridiculous meeting.
We're sitting with
Nothing.
you
You've
for the
said
first
yourself over 4 months, nothing's changed. It's the same argument. You're going around in circles.
But that proposal...
Those of us who've worked in Laos know that this is not going to change. The fact that you've been able to say what you said today when you were talking about the Sedition Riot Act or whatever, you cannot say that in Laos. You just, like, it's fundamentally oppressive. It's completely different, despite the laws.
No, I know that, but I'm saying we've never had this, and Debbie said we had this. For the previous APFs, there was no criteria. Brunei got through clean, you still organize APF. So let's be a bit more honest here about it.
No. Yeah. We were not allowed to go to Brunei because you know what? We emailed them asking to secure our.
I know you were not allowed. You were not allowed.
But we
APF
didn't
happened, right?
Wait. But we
APF
did not.
didn't happen.
APF happened without us. But during that time, we didn't fault you.
Yeah.
Because during that time, we were not engaging with you guys.
Yeah. If we knew, we wouldn't go.
So, I mean, this is my point. I'm saying that let's come up with a better way of framing it. That's all I'm saying. Let's not make a decision. Frame it properly and then make that decision to... Because I think the implication long-term is important. So all must agree with you, you know.
But do that quickly. Don't do it 3 months. That's crazy. Like the doctor said himself, he needs to know, quickly whether or not you're going to honor that. You can't keep prolonging the process.
Yeah, you can do it in 1 month, 2 months.
1 month. Not 2.
When you waited for 10 years, nothing has changed. What's 1 month for you? Okay, so after this, all of us are going to rest after the APF. No. So you are saying 1 month, but I mean the time, it's a short time frame. Definitely, it's a short time frame. But I'm just saying that let's frame it properly, and then it's the same criteria we agree and we use it for, and everyone should get it. And I'm totally comfortable that we should not go, and it's clear that at this point I would not go to endanger anyone. But to make that decision to reject APF, I want that to be the same for the next 10 years, and I want to stand by that for the next 10 years. So I'm just proposing in that 1 month or 2 months, we seek that answers that we need. Because working in a region, you can't do 1 month. If you are doing it alone, then you can do it the next week.
I've been doing this before.
Yeah, exactly. You've been doing it, but there's a whole larger process here. Yes?
So what we need to make a decision about these 3 proposals then. And who is also going to do this? Who is tasked to do what?
So we're just coming
to make a decision here about the proposal of Van, my proposal, and yours.
Now there are 3 proposals now, so I just asked a question whether this YAP's proposal now is something that we can use. Is that something that is acceptable? But if you want to still hold your proposal, then yours is still on the table. I was just getting, so you still want to hold your proposal for rejection?
It's still there.
No, but do you want to still hold your proposal? Because YAP's proposal came later.
My proposal is for us to bring it precisely to the bigger body.
I'm just trying to say the bigger body is discussion time. I know the program tomorrow. There's no, and you and the RSC, you know there's no time for discussion. So I'm just saying that we could insert something, but we won't have a meaningful discussion. So we can open up a space, and the tide is so tight tomorrow, and I'm knowing that, and you know that. So you're taking bring it. There's no bringing it ready for a meaningful open discussion.
So what is your timeline, and who is going to task what you are proposing?
So no, this is the proposal now. I was just getting there. But if you still want to insist on holding on your proposal, then you need to get to a vote. But if you are not, then with that timeline of, I think it's a short now. I'm suggesting 2 months at the most. 2 months at the most. Somebody, then the next point is who can be in the team. And that few people will come up with the criteria for rejection, talk to the government. We can follow up with the Laos Embassy here. They promised us a set of answers. They've not got to us. We can go, no problem. And they've not answered, finish. It's done. Within 1 week, I'll go and meet the first secretary and say, hey, we waited for your answers. Nothing. Answers to you, 0.
done, or whoever's going meeting anybody else in Laos. So you can easily. So now we just need a small team who can be involved to build towards this 2-month deadline, and then the clear decision is out. So how anybody who's you want to propose or familiar to handle this at this point? A small team, 3-4 at the most, I'm suggesting.
I propose
I second the
I third Yang. Sorry. So just accept Yang. Okay, fourth Yang. Okay, so Yang is one. Overwhelming response for Yang to be one. Any other? Yeah. So it's just going, whoever's name is thrown, you all just repeat, okay? Okay, I will work with Yang. Maybe another one person?
Debbie.
Perfect.
Debbie, are we okay with Debbie?
Yes.
Yes, okay, Debbie. You have to repeat, just have to repeat the name, Debbie. Debbie? Okay, that means you got accepted. So, another, is that okay? 3, 4? 3 is enough. Okay. Alright, then can we then agree 2 months deadline, a clear criteria for long-term APF for rejection. In the meanwhile, follow the 2 tracks that Yap and Watchlat proposed to get clear answers, direct answers, not fuzzy answers. With that answers, communicate to everyone, prepare the rejection modality, and then the next step after that, if the rejection model is then it's the who, when, what, and all that. Where is it for APF? But I think the step until this 2 months is only that rejection modality and answers of the 2 tracks. Is that okay? Is that acceptable? Okay. You agree? Agree. Okay, may not agree. So if that is fine, then let's give the Laos CSOs a big hand. Thank you for being with us.
May I take this opportunity to express my hearty appreciation to my friend, to our friend who expressed their sympathy for the Laos CSO. Thank you.
Okay.
นั่นก็จบรายการสำหรับที่
Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. You can go for film festival.
จะให้ลาวได้
You can buy me dinner. But the RSC, can we just sit for a few minutes? RSC Regional Steering Committee. Can we just stay here at the table?
รายการ2 ชั่วโมง
RSC 5 minutes.
กล้องให้ได้เบิ่งน้ำกันเนี่ยโอ้ก็ดีใจนะผู้ที่ได้เข้ามาเบิ่งแล้วก็ไอ้ทานแสงคือสิได้เอาออกรายการให้พวกท่านได้เบิ่งว่าวิธีเขาเฮ็ดกันจังได๋แล้วก็ขอขอบใจหลายๆทุกคนและพี่น้องติดตาม Thank you I'll see ya Good night